earlier, just to refresh you with uh, what will be our the content of our discussion. So first is the objective. So let's yes, hello. Yeah, my question. Hello.
Napindot lang po, sir.
Okay. So the objective is first to describe the three modes or methods of heat transfer. We have the conduction, convection, and radiation. Then to solve problems relating to mechanisms of mm, heat transfer, and to differentiate heat transfer and thermodynamics. Okay. Uh, I think most of you or all of you are already familiar how we solve problems here in heat transfer. So in solving or in the analysis of heat transfer problems methodology, so we will apply the seven solving steps. So in working with the heat transfer problems, you will gain a deeper appreciation of the fundamentals of the subject, and you will gain confidence in your ability to apply these fundamentals to the solution of engineering problems in solving problems. So yung paggamit natin ng systematic procedure characterized by discrete format will be implemented. So hindi lang siya applicable sa heat transfer na course, pero sa outside when you graduated and need yung mag-solve ng mga cases, so mas ina-advise na you have to solve it systematically. So lahat, anything na need ng analysis, dapat systematically natin siyang isasolve. So, hindi lang siya about sa course natin, pero in real life, applicable din yung systematic way of solving. So, yun. Mas madali tayong maintindihan. So, it's easy for us to communicate what we are proposing or what we are solving if we make it systematic. So let's begin with known. So after carefully reading the problem, so state briefly and concisely what is known about the problem. So you don't have to repeat naman the problem statement. So just briefly concise what is known. So for the find, state briefly and concisely what must be found. Uh, Sa schematic, so we have to draw the physical system. If application of the conservation laws is anticipated, represents the required control surfaces or surfaces by dash line or the schematic. So identify relevant heat transfer processes by appropriately labeled arrows on the schematic. So assumptions, list all pertinent simplifying assumptions. For the properties, compile property values needed for subsequent calculations and identify the source from which they are obtained. So analysis, begin your analysis by applying appropriate conservation laws and introduce rate equations as needed. So develop the analysis as completely as possible before Substituting numerical values. Perform the calculations needed to obtain the desired results. Ay, sa properties pala, so you have your own tables. Most of the time, wala sa problem yung mga properties, so you have to add it on the property part of your solution. Analysis. So begin your analysis by applying appropriate conservation laws and introduce three equations as needed. Develop the analysis as completely as possible before substituting numerical values. Perform the calculations needed to obtain the desired results. So comments, discuss your results. Such a discussion may include a summary of the key conclusions, a critique of the original assumptions, and an inference of trends obtained by performing additional what-if and parameter sensitivity calculations. So for uniformity, final answer should be rounded up to 2 decimal places. So yan, sa temperature naman, absolute temperature, pwedeng 273 or pwedeng 273.15 yung i-add nyo sa degree Celsius para maging absolute value. So hindi tayo mahigpit sa decimal point. Okay? Any questions sa analysis of heat transfer problem methodology? So we will implement this throughout the course. So by the way, may partial points tayo. So if you have this information on your solution, so you already have a 7 points or 6 points if comments are optional. So if the problem does not require a comment or you don't have to discuss the results, so pwede hanggang dito lang sa analysis. So if the properties naman are already provided in the problem, so you don't have to pwede palang i-state nyo din yung properties for clarity if necessary. So meron din siyang partial points. So if properties are already in the known or in the schematics, so you don't have to include it. Yes, an option. Okay. So as an engineer, so it is important that we understand the physical mechanisms which underlie the heat transfer modes. So, and we be able to use the rate equation that quantify the amount of energy being transferred per unit time. So for conduction, we have the Fourier's law. I think parang sobrang kabisado nyo na to, no? Fourier's law. So K A delta T or K dt over dx. So this is for heat flux, yung Q double prime X. So kung heat rate, so multiply nyo lang ng area. Kung heat transfer rate per unit length, multiply nyo lang ng, or Q prime, multiply nyo lang ng length para maging heat transfer per unit area. So, depende sa hinahanap sa problem. So, that's for conduction. So, for conduction to occur, dapat meron tayong temperature difference. Yun yung driving force para magkaroon tayo ng heat transfer. So, T1 should be greater than T2 in this case. Okay, so yeah, that's for conduction. This is from Fourier. Then we have the Newton's law of cooling for convection. So we have Q equals H, Q double prime equals HT infinity minus Ts, wherein T infinity is the temperature of the fluid and Ts is temperature of the surface. So we have convection from a surface to a moving fluid. So yung heated surface natin ito, nasa ilalim. So heated surface. And then meron siyang fluid sa taas na nag-move dyan. For example. So that's Newton's law of cooling. So we have also the Stefan-Boltzmann equation for radiation. So this is the net radiation heat exchange between two surfaces with double prime 1 and with double prime 2. We have surface T1 and surface T. So nagkakaroon siya ng heat transfer between surfaces. Sa Stefan-Boltzmann equation, meron tayo, for black body, we have sigma T to the fourth. Pero kapag meron tayong real surface, minumultiply natin siya ng emissivity or E. Okay? So this is the summary of the heat transfer processes. So we have conduction, convection, and radiation. For conduction, we have diffusion of energy due to random molecular motion. Again, this is the equation, Newton's law of, Fourier's law, E dt, negative k dt over dx. And then transport property is thermal conductivity, which is K. For convection, we have diffusion of energy due to random molecular motion plus energy transfer due to bulk motion or advection. So we have Q double prime equals H Ts minus T infinity. So H means watt per meter squared Kelvin. Yun yung ating transport property, yung Newton's convection heat transfer coefficient for each. Ang isa pang term dito is film coefficient sa each value. So film coefficient. Sa mga heat exchangers, ang ginagamit natin term ay film coefficient. So we have for radiation, we have energy transfer by electromagnetic waves. So we have here, ang difference nila is wala tayong medium. So nata-transfer yung heat to electromagnetic. So we have emissivity. Our transport property here is emissivity. And radiation heat transfer coefficient. HR. So we have two formulas. So the first one is the Stefan-Boltzmann equation. Emissivity times Stefan-Boltzmann constant times Ts to the fourth minus T squared to the fourth. Here, dapat naka-raise sa fourth power yung inyong temperature. Let's say other equation, which is HRA Ts minus T squared. So, yung HR, equivalent siya sa equation related to Stefan-Boltzmann. So, later, meron tayo. Ipapakita ko yung equation ng HR, yung value ng HR. So, sometimes ito yung ginagamit nating formula. So, lahat ba kayo ay gumamit na ng formula na to? HR, inaikanto nyo na to sa previous discussion nyo sa heat transfer. HRA Ts minus T squared. Okay, so compare nyo naman pala siya. Okay?
Kasali ka rin pala sa Ranjon. Ikaw ba ang MC?
Klase mo nga ako. Pero anong dami.
Ito ikaw.
May seminar kayo.
Ikaw ang MC eh. Ikaw ga. Ikaw nga ga.
Secretary
Bigla ang
kasi.
MC ko.
Yari na kayo ano. Yari ka sa alam. Hindi nila nga. Pati nga sila San Michael ay nandito. Sa ano. Kasi ako. Parang gathering pala ito ng PSM Batangas eh. No? Hindi na yun.
Sorry message.
ano, sa lilipan na kayo sa ano,
Ah,
tangkas. Paano ba paglilipat?
Makakatrabaho pag
Pagka baka paglilipat?
oo, matrabaho kasi kailangan mo ng ano eh, ng okay, so let's continue. So yan yung ating heat transfer processes. So we have also what we call the
Good morning,
steady
engineers.
state
Economics and
and
future innovators. We're all having been here pouring into our virtual hall. A massive welcome to
we have
each and every
steady
one.
state
As you can
and
tell,
transient
we
heat
have
transfer.
first
Heat
take a
transfer
second to
is
check
characterized by a
that
constant
your
specific
need
rate of
corresponding
heat
is
transfer.
within our
Then it is a
reference.
steady state
So we
heat
second
transfer. So steady state transfer can be a conduction, convection, or radiation process. So irrespective of the mode of heat transfer, so steady state heat transfer, the heat flow rate remains constant at any point in time. So steady state heat transfer can be described in terms of the temperature as the variable and the temperature of the system remains constant over time in steady state heat transfer after thermal equilibrium is attained. Yan. So, familiar na kayo sa steady state. Pero sa transient, ito yung bago. No? So, in reality kasi, transient heat transfer yung nag-occur. So, first, transient heat transfer muna siya. And then, eventually, saka siya magiging steady state. So, when we say steady state, yung heat transfer nyo na pumasok sa system ay equal dun sa heat transfer na lumabas dun sa system. So, whether conduction, convection, or radiation yung process. When you say transient, hindi siya equal. So, unsteady siya, yung transient. So, in the physical world, heat transfer starts at a transient and then reaches a steady state until thermal equilibrium is reached. So, una, transient and then saka pala siya magiging steady afterwards, no? So, after nating until ma-reach natin yung thermal equilibrium. So, sa pag-calculate ng steady state, yun, gumagamit tayo ng mga mechanisms na at saka equations. Pero sa transient, medyo mahirap siyang i-calculate. Usually, ang ginagamit natin dito ay softwares na pag-calculate ng heat transfer. Okay? So, question sa steady state versus transient heat transfer? Wala question? Okay, so let's continue. So, conduction. So, unahin natin yung conduction. So, we have the Fourier's law. So, we have Q double prime X equals negative K dt over dx. So, negative K delta T over L. So, note that this equation provides a heat flux that is the rate of heat transfer per unit area. Heat flux siya, no? Pero kung gusto niyo siyang, kung ang hinahanap is heat rate, so you just have to multiply it by the area. Okay. So as you can see on our figure, so this is the association of conduction heat transfer with diffusion energy due to molecular activity. So ano nangyayari kapag meron tayo, for example, na heated surface, so meron tayong random molecular motion. So from less excited molecule, matatransfer yung energy to from high energetic molecule, matatransfer yung energy to less energetic molecule, and eventually lahat ng yan ay magiging energetic molecules na. High energetic. So, yun, nagkakaroon ng temperature increase. So, that is where why there is a heat transfer. Natatransfer ang heat from high temperature papuntang low temperature. So, there's a temperature difference. Okay, so that's for conduction. Let us have some sample problem. So first, the wall of an industrial furnace is constructed from 1.5 meter or clay brick having a thermal conductivity of 1.7 watt per meter Kelvin. So measurements made during steady state operation reveals temperature of 1,400 and 1,150 Kelvin at the inner and outer surfaces respectively. So what is the rate of heat loss through the wall that is 0.5 meter by 1.2 meter on the side? So very basic. No? Pero yung ating mga sinusolve is mas complex pa dito. So just a recap, ang pag-solve nito, we have to use the methods systematic way of solving problems. We have to find the node, which is a steady state condition describe voltages, thermal conductivity, and surface temperatures. So hinahanap or find is the heat loss. And then schematic. So sa schematic makita nyo na dyan yung ating temperature na given, yung ating thermal conductivity, tsaka yung length ng ating length ng ating object. So assumptions of steady state conditions, one-dimensional conduction through the wall, constant thermal conductivity. So analysis, so since heat transfer through the wall is conduction, the heat flux may be determined from Fourier's law. Yan, direct substitution lang tayo sa Fourier's law. So we have Q double prime X equals K delta T over N. So we have K na 1.7 given sa problem. Area, walang area no, so kasi heat flux. So delta T is 250 Kelvin. So that is 1,400 minus 1,150. So and then length is 0.15 meters. So you will get a total of 2,833 watt per square meter na heat flux. So if in case ang hinahanap ay heat rate, so multiply nyo lang yun ng area, itong value ng 2,800 na 2,833. So the area would be H times W, which is 0.5 meter by 1.2 meter. So that is equivalent to 1,700 watts. Okay, question? May question kayo sa 1,700 watts. So very basic. Start muna tayo sa pinaka-basic. Any question? Okay na? Okay, so let's begin with another example. So the heat flux that is applied to the left base of the plane wall is 20 watt per square meter. The wall of thickness L is 10 mm and thermal conductivity K is 12 watt per meter Kelvin. So if the surface temperature of the wall are measured to be 50 degrees Celsius on the left side and 30 degrees Celsius on the right side, those steady state conditions exist. Yan. So I'll give you 5 minutes to analyze this problem. Okay? Balikan ko kayo after 5 minutes. Hello, good morning. So, na-solve nyo. Thank you for waiting. So, let's solve it. Okay, so known is the heat flux that is applied to the left face of the plane wall, which is 20 watt per square meter. So, kung 20 watt per square meter yung heat flux on the left face, dapat same value yung sa kabilang face. Sa right face, kasi sabi is steady state. So, kung hindi siya equal, so wala tayong steady state. So, we have to prove that there is, if we have to prove that steady state condition exists. Okay, so known yung heat flux, wall thickness, area, thermal conductivity, and surface temperatures. So assuming that there is a steady state condition, one-dimensional conduction, and constant thermal conductivity. So since the heat transfer through the wall is by conduction, the heat flux may be determined from Fourier's law. So using Fourier's law, we have yan. Okay, so if you can see, directly nakalagay na dito yung solution at saka formula. So yung way na to is, I think, uh, madali siyang mas nakakatipid tayo sa time, no? So, kaya nilalagay ko na dito yung equation tsaka formula. Kasi kung isusulat pa natin siya, so it will consume time, consume most of your time. So, kaya para mas systematic tayo, so nilagay ko na dito. So, yung iba ay prefer na hindi muna ilagay yung solution tsaka formula para kasabay, no? Pero nagtitake kasi siya ng time talaga. So, kaya advisable na ilagay na lang dito. So, isa-isahin natin siya susulat. Konti lang yung mali-discuss natin. So, going back. So, since Q, Q equals K delta T over L, no? So, the value of Q is 24,000. So, given Q equals K, given yung K na 12 watt per meter Kelvin, given siya sa problem, 12 watt per meter Kelvin, as you can see. So, given siya, K. Another given is the temperature, which is 50 and 30. So, there is a change in temperature. So, delta T niya is 20 degrees Celsius. And another given is the length. Another given from the problem. So, if you will solve for the rate of heat transfer or heat flux, rate of heat transfer per unit area, that would be 24,000. So, steady state ba siya? If you nakuha yung value ay 24,000. So, definitely not, because the heat transfer should be 20 watt per meter squared. So, therefore, it is not steady state since the heat flux given on one side is 20, while on the other side is 24,000. So, to verify a steady state condition, we have to check how the temperature difference would really be. So, solving for the delta T using the value given, so delta T is Q double prime L over K. So
Alright,
that
thank you
would
so
be
much, Engineer
20 watt
Alan
per
Vivian.
square meter
And I think
over
now
times
have
L or
the
0.01
time for us to learn
over
and to guide
12
us through
watt
the
per
upgrading
meter.
process. Review session and mentorship.
So delta
We
T
now
would
have
be
a wonderful distinguished
0.0167
professional mechanical
Kelvin.
engineer in this chapter. We have our engineer John Rosello.
Basis na reliability. Survey form. Wala ka tayong study.
Okay, so yeah, we have to solve for the delta t, and then ang delta t value natin ay 20, 8 less than 20, which is 0.0167 Kelvin. Okay, any question with this problem?
None so far po.
Okay, so let's proceed with convection. So review lang yun ng conduction. So ngayon, review ulit ng convection. Just a recap. So as we all know, convection heat transfer is comprised of two mechanisms. So we have the energy due to random molecular motion or diffusion, and also the energy transferred by bulk or macroscopic motion of the fluid. Yung energy transfer due to molecular convection or diffusion is what we call the natural convection. While yung energy transfer by bulk or macroscopic motion of the fluid, so nangyayari yan if meron tayong mechanisms like fans, blowers, or pumps na nag-trigger para magkaroon ng convection, which is yun nga, nagkakaroon dyan ng bulk or macroscopic motion. Ang tawag natin dito ay advection.
Pag mag-represent kayo ng tulong sa ano, beneficiary, sabihin, ang problema nyo tapos yung
Okay, so yeah, for example naman, meron tayong heated surface, no? So, applicable dito ang molecular diffusion at saka ang advection. Let's say may source kayo ng may mechanical source kayo dito, so nagkakaroon dyan ng advection or velocity distribution. At the same time, meron tayong fluid dito na nag-move. Kung heated surface ito, natatransfer mo yung heat onto sa fluid, so nagkakaroon ng random molecular motion or molecular diffusion. So we have here, according to the theory, so a consequence of the fluid surface interaction is the development of a region in the fluid through which the velocity varies from zero, so this is zero velocity, and then from zero up to infinite associated with the flow. So meron tayo nabubuong region. So the region of the fluid is known as the hydrodynamic or velocity boundary layer. So hindi nyo siya nakikita by naked eye, pero ganito yung nagiging behavior ideally ng fluid. So from zero velocity, so sa una zero velocity pa pag malapit sa heated surface. Then habang lumalayo siya sa heated surface, nagkakaroon ng increase in velocity na may nabubuo ng velocity boundary layer. So moreover, if the surface and flow temperatures differ, there will be a region of the fluid through which the temperature varies from Ts at y equals 0 to T infinity in the outer flow. So, yan. Moreover, may surface tayo dito na moreover, kung meron tayong surface, heated surface, and may flow temperature variation, nagkakaroon tayo na temperature distribution naman. So, wherein the temperature varies from Ts at y equals 0. So, from y equals 0, the temperature is Ts. And then from y equals pag meron ng value ang y, so we have T infinity or temperature ng fluid. So nagkaroon ng temperature variation from surface papunta sa fluid. Nagkaroon ng changes in temperature. So tawag natin dito is thermal boundary layer. So the region, thermal boundary layer may be smaller or larger or the same time as that through which the velocity varies. So in any case, Ts is greater than T infinity. So for convection heat transfer to occur, mas mataas yung value ng surface temperature kaysa sa fluid temperature. Kung parehas lang siya, walang mangyayaring heat transfer, walang magiging driving force. So dapat magkaiba yung temperature ng fluid at saka surface. Dapat mas mababa yung temperature ng fluid for the heat transfer to occur. So yeah, for convection heat transfer processes, regardless sa nature ng convection heat transfer, so the appropriate rate equation is in the form of Q equals HATS minus infinity. So Newton's law of cooling, Ts is temperature ng surface and T infinity is temperature ng fluid. Yan. Kahit ano pang nature ng convection process. Ano ba yung mga nature ng convection process? Pwedeng through forced convection. So meron tayong forced flow. So yan, forced convection yan, yung convection. So pwede rin naman through natural convection or molecular diffusion. So meron din tayong tinatawag na boiling. So para din siya natural convection kasi nagkakaroon ng random molecular motion dito para yung fluid or yung water is maging vapor. So nangyayari to sa mga reboilers. Kung familiar kayo sa reboilers, so ginagamit siya sa, nilalagay siya usually, for example, may distillation process tayo. So yung distillation process, nasa distillation column siya. So para maging successful yung distillation process, kailangan meron tayong continuous supply ng water vapor. Para magkaroon ng continuous supply ng water vapor, kailangan yung mga, di ba, condense yung fluid galing sa water vapor. Yung fluid na yun, kailangan mag-circulate siya ulit. Kailangan siyang i-vaporize. So kaya gumagamit tayo ng reboilers para ma-vaporize yung liquid na nanggagaling sa distillation column. Yung bumababang liquid, i-circulate ulit siya. Papasok sa distillation column. Kumbaga, yung distillation column, meron siyang outlet para sa liquid. So from that outlet, pupunta siya sa reboiler. Ang gagawin ng reboiler is i-reboil niya or i-vaporize niya yung liquid na yan. Then ipapasok niya ulit sa distillation column. So para continuous yung process ng distillation. So yun kasi yung kailangan para maging successful ang distillation process, yung continuous flow ng vapor. Okay, so yun yung purpose ng boiling. So for condensers naman, or condensation, yung letter D, so kailangan siya if ang output na need natin ay liquid. So opposite siya ng reboiler. So sa condenser, kailangan maging liquid yung output natin. So yun yung pupunta dun sa isang process. So for example, dito meron kayong cold water sa loob ng pipe. So meron tayong moisture dyan. So pag tumama yung moisture sa cold water, ang tendency is magkaroon ng water droplets. So that is what we call a condensate. So yeah. Yeah, meron tayong condensation.
Wala po sila mag-mandi at nasa may company na nakipunta. Eh bukas yan, tatry ko mga usapin ka dito magagaan pag-uwi na. Ang testing. Kasi sila lang after na ating final na sabi ko kaya
Sabihin nyo lang sa talong ko, isa lang naman po. Pagbenta nyo na lang yung gagawin. Hindi, benta nyo yung gagawin. Hindi, dalhin mo sa ano dito. Ilagay mo ulit doon sa labas.
Quality na natin.
Ano nga mga mga sa week?
Okay, so yan yung ating convection transfer processes. So radiation. Ay, by the way, may question ba sa convection? Any
None so
questions?
far po.
Okay, thank you. So let's proceed with radiation. Review din ang radiation. So radiation is emitted by the surface, originates from the thermal energy of matter bounded by the surface. So and the rate of which energy is released per unit area. So it is termed as the surface emissive power E. So there's an upper limit to emissive power which is prescribed by the Stefan Boltzmann law. So we have this equation E sub B equals sigma Ts to the fourth. So such surface is called an ideal radiator or black body. Kung papansin nyo sa black body, wala tayong emissive power or emissivity. Sorry, wala tayong emissivity sa black body. Itong formula na to is emissive power. E sub B. So, yan. Kapag black body, wala tayong emissivity. Pero pag real surface, nagkakaroon tayo na emissivity value. So, yung Stefan Boltzmann constant na sigma, ito yung value niya. So, 5.67 times 10 to the negative 8 watt per meter squared Kelvin to the fourth. Okay, so sa radiation, kung papansin nyo, meron tayong dalawang figure. So figure A and B. Sa figure A, kung mapapansin nyo, siya ay radiation exchange at a surface. Ibig sabihin, hindi binanggit dito na nasa enclosed area siya. So ibig sabihin, halimbawa, meron kayong source, outside source like sun. Meron din tayong energy, radiation energy na na-absorb galing sa sun or sa outside source. That is what we call irradiation G. So yan. Aside from the radiation that is emitted by the surface, meron pa siyang na-absorb na radiation. So i-add natin yung value ng G sa E. Okay. So we have here surface of emissivity E, absorptivity alpha, and temperature Ts. Yan. So, yun. Yung ating radiation, nag-occur siya without any medium na transfer ang heat through electromagnetic wave. Okay? So, unlike convection na yung meron tayong medium na liquid or, fluid, whether liquid or gas. So, meron tayong medium. So, sa radiation, wala. So, electromagnetic wave lang. So, yung figure number 2 is radiation pa rin. Pero kung mapapansin nyo, nasa loob siya ng surroundings. I mean, yung surroundings ay parang room or enclosed area. Wala tayong G-absorb dito or irradiation kasi wala namang source of heat. Unless sa loob ng room ay meron pang source of heat. Meron tayong irradiation na marireceive. Pero since sa figure wala, so we have only radiation. And convection, may convection din tayo if meron liquid na nagpo-flow or fluid na flowing dito or air. In case ito ay walang fluid, so imposible naman siya mangyari, no? Kasi nasa earth surface naman tayo. So, meron siyang fluid. Kahit pa full vacuum natin, may fluid pa rin siya. So, may convection. have radiation exchange at the surface and between surface and large surroundings. So radiation may also be incident on a surface from its surroundings. So radiation may originate from a special source such as the sun or from other sources to which the surface of interest is exposed. Irrespective of the sources, so we designate the rate at which all such radiation is incident on a surface of the unit as irradiation G. Yan. Ito yung tawag natin kapag may radiation na na-absorb yung surface. So we have the irradiation. Galing siya sa surroundings, no? Galing siya sa source, external source. So G absolute equals alpha G. So kapag real surface, so meron tayong absorptivity value. So yung absorptivity alpha is greater than 0 but less than or equal to 1. So kapag less than 1, so siya ay opaque. So portion of irradiations are reflected. So if the surface is transparent, portion of the irradiation may also be transmitted. So dalawang bagay lang yun, opaque at saka transparent. Pag 0, opaque. Pag transparent, it's either less than 1. So radiation. So if the surface is assumed to be one for which alpha equals emissivity, so a gray surface, the net rate of radiation from heat transfer from the surface expressed per unit area of the surface is equivalent to this equation. Yan, kapag gray surface. So ito yung common formula natin na ginagamit kapag gray surface. So we have emissivity, Stephen Boltzmann constant, times Ts to the fourth minus T squared to the fourth. So itong expression na to, it provides the difference between thermal energy that is released due to radiation emission and nagigain due to radiation absorption. So meron tayong nare-release na emission due to radiation and meron tayong na-absorb which is due to radiation absorption. So yung difference ng thermal energy na yon ay yun yung radiation heat transfer natin. Okay. So ito yung net, parang ito yung net radiation ng difference nung nare-release tsaka na-absorb. So may ibang application na mas convenient ang pag-express using the form parang sa convection na Newton's law of cooling. So we have HRA pero yung HR, ang value niya would be HR equals emissivity, Stephen Boltzmann constant times Ts plus T squared multiplied by the quantity S squared plus T squared. Yan yung value ng HR. So yung HR, substitute na lang dito sa radiation equation. Yung equation 1.9, i-substitute nyo sa equation 1.8. Para mas madali siyang isolve kung may kasama siyang convection kasi parang pareha sila ng format ng equation na Newton's law. Para Newton's law of cooling din, no? Okay, so next we have radiation. So the surface, ito yan, no? So kapag naman nasa surroundings ka, kapag nasa loob ka ng room, at may fluid dyan, so dapat meron ka din convection. So ina-add natin yung convection most of the time, no? Kapag may given na parameters for convection para makuha nyo yung total rate ng heat transfer. So, yan. Okay? So, yan. Ito, no? So, yung Q total equals Q convection plus Q radiation. So which is Newton's law of cooling, HA Ts minus T infinity para sa convection. Tapos Stefan Boltzmann naman para sa radiation. I-add nyo lang yung convection at saka radiation. So applicable siya dito sa example natin. Example 1. So uninsulated, ibig sabihin walang insulation, na steam pipe passes through a room, nasa loob siya ng room, no? Itong pipe na to nasa loob ng room, in which the air and walls are 25 degrees Celsius. Parehas yung temperature ng air at saka ng wall. Given ang OD ng pipe na 70 mm. So that is equivalent to 0.07 meter. And given din ang surface temperature, which is 200 degrees Celsius. Ibig sabihin, ang outside temperature nitong pipe ay nasa 200. So, medyo mainit, no? Ibig sabihin, ang tendency niya, matransfer niya ang heat papunta ng surroundings. Pero aside from convection, merong radiation, no, na natatransfer. So, which is may emissivity na given na 0.8. So, respectively. So, ang hinahanap natin dito ay surface emissive power and irradiation. So, if the coefficient of associated with free convection heat transfer from surface in the air is 15 watt per square meter Kelvin, what is the rate of heat loss from the surface per unit length of pipe? Yan. So, kung merong given na coefficient sa free convection na 15, ano ang magiging rate of heat loss from surface unit length of pipe, from the surface unit length? So pag sinabi natin heat loss, yung heat na natatransfer papuntang surroundings. So dalawa yan, may convection at saka may radiation. So yun yung isosolve natin. May question sa problem? Naintindihan ang problem? Okay, so let's proceed with the analysis of the problem. So again, nilagay ko na dito sa ating slide para hindi na natin isa-isahin, no? Nakatipid tayo sa time. So solution, so known is the uninsulated pipe of prescribed diameter, emissivity, and surface temperature in a room with a fixed wall and air temperatures. So the required is the emissive power and irradiation. Yun yung unang hinahanap. Emissive power and irradiation. When we say emissive power, yun yung value ng E. Na ang formula naman ay later meron. Pero na-discuss natin yung formula ng E kanina. Ano? So, emissivity sigma Ts to the fourth. Yun yung formula ng E. So, G is irradiation. We also have that equation, sigma Ts to the fourth. I think G. Nasa na yung G natin? Alpha G. So, G equals sigma Ts to the fourth. Ito, sigma Ts to the fourth. T-squared to the fourth in G. So, yung emissive power ay ang formula niya ay temperature ng surface raised to the fourth power. Pero yung G, ang formula niya ay temperature ng surroundings to the fourth power. So, yun yung pinagkaiba. Lagay natin yung formula ng G dito.
Pero nag-upload na rin kayo sa link po. Wala ko dito.
Okay, so let's solve. So ito yung ating schematic. So find the emissive power and radiation and schematic. Or pipe surface emissive power and radiation at saka pipe heat loss per unit length. So ito yung schematic. So nandiyan na lahat, no? So may air, nandiyan ang temperature ng air at saka coefficient ng convection. Meron tayong diameter na 70 mm. Mas madali kung sa lalagay na natin sa schematic yung mga given. Parang mas madali siyang i-visualize. And then meron tayong temperature ng surface na 200 and then emissivity na 0.8. T-SUR equals 25
So dapat sino mag-chat?
degrees Celsius. Okay, so let's solve. Madali lang naman yung equation. I-add nyo lang ang radiation at saka convection para sa pipe heat loss. Tapos dito sa surface emissive power, direct substitution na ito sa equation. Okay? Ito yung formula, no? By the way, ang assumptions natin dito ay steady state condition. Radiation exchange between the pipe and the room is between a small surround surface and much larger enclosure. Parang ganito siya. Yan. Ito yung system natin. So, ang radiation ay nag-occur from surface to large enclosure. So, ganyan. Kaya, yan yung ating assumption. So, and surface emissivity and absorptivity are equal. Ibig sabihin, siya ay gray body. Pag equal ang emissivity at absorptivity. Okay, so let's go. Let's solve. So we have emissivity equals emissive power pala is equal to emissivity times Stefan Boltzmann constant times Ts to the fourth. So direct substitution ng mga values. Yung Ts to the fourth, kinonvert lang natin ang temperature ng surroundings. Ng surface pala, Ts kasi surface. Kung mapapansin nyo, kapag emissive power, Ts yung ginagamit. Kapag absolute naman or irradiation, kapag irradiation naman ay T-SUR or surroundings, which is 25. So kaya naging 298 to. Okay, so given ang emissivity na 0.8, ang Stefan Boltzmann ay given. Tapos yung Ts na 200, kinonvert sa Kelvin raised to the fourth. So we have 2270 watt per square meter. So sa irradiation, given ang Stefan Boltzmann constant na 5.67 times 10 to the negative 8, given ang surrounding temperature na 25, so we have 447 watt per meter square. Okay? So any questions sa emissive power at irradiation? Nagets ba? Yung 2270 at saka 447. So, ang next na hinahanap ay heat loss from pipe. So, heat loss, i-add nyo lang yung convection sa radiation. So, convection, HA delta T or Newton's law of cooling. Ang area is pi dl kasi siya ay pipe, no? So, pero wala tayong value ng L kasi nga, ano siya, ang hinahanap ay, ang unit ay length. Ang unit ng heat transfer ay per meter kasi per unit length yung hinahanap. Ang sabi sa problem ay heat loss per unit length. So hindi given ang L, no? Kasi per unit length tayo or Q prime. So Q over L equals yung unahin natin ang convection na HA delta T. So we have H is 15, area is pi dl or pi din na lang. So pi times 0.07 and then delta T of 200 which is yung temperature ng pipe, outside ng pipe. 25 is temperature ng surroundings. Temperature ng fluid ng 25 para sa convection. Sa radiation, 0.8 ang emissive power. So you can see here, 0.8. Emissive power multiplied by the area which is pi d. Again, walang L kasi per unit lang tayo. And then Stephen-Boltzmann constant na 5.67 times 10 to the negative 8. And then naka-raise support power yung temperature ng surface na 200 degrees Celsius. Gagawin niyo siyang Kelvin kasi i-raise siya sa support power. So same case, yung temperature ng surroundings ay 25. I-ratio din sa support power. So we will have a 421 watt per meter para sa radiation at saka 577 para sa convection. I-add nyo lang yan, dalawang value na yan, meron na kayong 998 watt per meter. Yan na yung inyong heat loss per unit length of the pipe. Okay. May question kung paano nakuha yung 998 per meter? So, nilagay ko na siya dito sa isang slide para sama-sama na siya dyan. Okay, any question po? Okay, so kung wala na kayong question, i-upload ko na lang sa Google Drive yung ating discussion today. And then, next meeting ulit. Ay, by the way, i-ano ko pala yung attendance. Screenshot ko lang ha. Wait lang.